several dedicated professionals from various walks of life, both in India and US. And the objective of Voice here is primarily twofold. One is to showcase the salient aspects of Indian culture and civilization to the world, particularly the Western world. And B, as we have seen, the worrying trend in the recent years has been that the Western media likes to paint an anti-India narrative on all the issues that concern India. So the second part of the objective of Voice was to provide a counter to the biased Western media narrative on issues relating to India. Uh, Welcome, Mr. Shintu Matthew. We are delighted to have you here with us.
Thank
And
you.
I'm sure all of us at the end of the day will benefit a lot by knowing more about ancient martial art.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, let me set off this conversation by asking a basic questions. It'll be great if you could let us know about the origins of Kalaripayattu.
This is a martial art, and we can say the Indian martial art. And this martial art is not a creation of humans. This is the pure creation of gods. And like we can say that uh, Lord Shiva is the founder of this martial art, or I can say Lord Shiva is the person, is the god who, uh, you know, who taught or who gave this blessing to uh, Parashurama. And from Parashurama, this thing is coming. And Parashurama started, he taught 18 Nambudris. Nambudris, we used to call in Kerala Nambudris, like, Brahmins, 18 Brahmins, he taught 18 ways of Kalaripayattu, you can say. And then from there, it started spreading out in Kerala. And we can say, like, not only Kerala, that time no Kerala, no Tamil Nadu kind of border was not there. So they started in the southern region all that time. And from that 18 gurukuls, they used to teach Kalaripayattu to survival. And that is the startup in Kalaripayattu. And the Lord Parashurama having a lot of attachment and stories in Kerala. Like, we used to say that Parashurama threw his axe to the sea to make a place of Kerala. So we used to say that Parashurama is the maker, the creator of Kerala also. That's why we used to say that it's a God's own country, Kerala.
Right.
So Kalaripayattu's history is, you can say that Hindu religious is there the beginning of this martial art. That's the reason that when we start training in Kalaripayattu, there is a rituals of customs rituals is there before we training our Kalaripayattu. Every Kalari there is a some sort of idols like Putra, Nagatara, Ganapatitara, Gurutara, Tara in the sense of stan, place. So where we used to touch and we respect, and then the last we used to touch the Guru's feet, and then from there we used to start training. So like yoga, it's a we can say that it's just like yoga, Kalari also a part of in our Indian traditional systems. Beauty part is that this is not a creation of humans; it is a creation of gods. So the all things what we do here in this martial art, uh, this is definitely affects the person's body and mind and soul.
Sure. So when it comes to Kalaripayattu, uh, I'm sure there are other aspects to it, beyond the art of fighting and beyond the mental aspect. So holistically, what is the overall objective, or what are the goals that one can aspire to achieve through this martial art?
You said it right, like instead of fight, if we see in this martial art, the main objective uh, of this martial art is not to create a good fighters. Frankly, Kalaripayat is Gurukul teacher never creates a good fighters in the society. Rather than the teacher used to focus on to create a good human being who is not harmful to the society or who is not harmful to his own locality or his family, to give the traditional values of our Indian traditional values. So, if I can say, like, if you start learning Kalaripayat, in the beginning, 2 3 years, there is no fight at all.
Hmm.
The students maybe came for fight, but in the beginning, uh, what we learning from a guru is first discipline, patience, and guru used to sincerely watch each and every student that whether this student is capable to learn this martial art. So he observes his patience. So for that reason, if we see the first stage of Kalaripayat is Methari. In the Methari, until unless you are not standing properly on your feet, getting a proper balance, and doing all the movements of animals, to balance your body. So that after completing that level only, we used to really indulge in the fighting techniques. So we can say that it's a good way of exercises to to create body, mind, and balance, and to understand his own body, own soul, and when he comes to that arena, I mean, so he himself respecting others. So a good education he is getting from Kalari. So that apart from fight, he used to calm down from his mind, body, the aggressiveness. If there higher point, then that person used to come down to the actual balance level. And if a person is very low, like if we can say that without any kind of aggression, very low feeling kind of person, he used to come up. So Kalaripayat balance our nature of thinking and balancing. If a person is like very fearful person, like fear to talk, fear to do anything, that also changes in Kalaripayat. So Kalaripayat is balancing people from mind and soul. Apart from
Sure. So, the movements on Kalaripayattu, right? They find their inspiration in the in animals, in power and strength of animals, right? So, what are the different kind of animals that these movements are structured after? That is my first part of the question. And the second part of this question is, how do these you know animal movements transform into human body language?
Uh, Animal movements is the foundation of Kalaripayattu. And if you ask me about the what all animals is there, there is a lot of good fighter animals and birds is there. But in Kalari, there is 8 animals which are ancestral, included in this fight form. That is, you can say like Gaja, that is elephant, Ashwa, that's horse, Marjar, that's cat, and Sarpa, that's snake, and Kukura, that's fighter cock, fighter hen, and then Matsya, that's again a fish, and then one more is remaining. Wild boar is there. Wild boar. And so in this way, there is 8 animal postures is there or animal movement included in Kalaripayattu. So we have taken only that animals, or we can say only that movements which a human can do. So, like if I say like the one of the animal posture is Gajavadi. Animal is elephant. So elephant, when we see, when we imagine about the elephant, what we imagine the size of elephant, the strength of elephant. It's very strengthy animal. So through practicing that movement in Kalaripayattu, we used to gain the strength of elephant in our body, in our thighs, in our spinal cord. So that is what we aim from elephant. So the practical movement is based on that. The same
I
way,
see.
the same way, the animal fight, the elephant fight also, we fixed like when you are in the crowd and to get out from the crowd, you need an extreme strength in your body. So that things we used to practice in elephant. So similarly, so when you practice sarpa body, sarpa is snake.
Hmm.
Uh, when we practice sarpa, then we are not focusing on strength over there now. When we practice these elephant movements, then we are gaining the flexibility like sarpa in our body, right? So the
Sure.
sarpa movement is designed in our in the human body that anyone can attain a flexibility like a snake without bone. So our guru used to say that when you do your sarpa vadif, so by looking at your body, the person should the person who looking at you, you should feel that there is no bone in his body. So this is what we are getting, we are getting education, or you can say we are copying the animals, the born fighters, the animals. We are copying their lifestyle and their it's not lifestyle, their attacking movements, and we are trying to build ourselves strong like that. And
So,
you asked how it is transits in the human body. We have
right.
we have to practice it. We have to practice a gaja thoroughly to gain the strength like elephant. We have to practice thoroughly the sarpa, the matsya, the wild boar, uh, Any movement, every like I said, the 8 animal postures is there. Every 8 animal postures is very important for a good fighter.
Right. So, so my next logical question here is, I mean, at the beginning, you spoke about when you spoke about the origins, you mentioned about Lord Parshuram and how it began from there. So obviously, there is this whole aspect of the ancient Indian culture and civilization that is tied to this martial art, right? Unlike any other martial art. So my first question is, why is the martial art not more popular across India, right? And I may be wrong, maybe it is, but the perception that I get is, people know about Taekwondo and Karate and Kung Fu, but they don't speak about Kalaripayattu so much as to the extent they do of other martial arts. And secondly, my second part of this question, I'm sorry, this question is a bit long, but how can, given the connection with the Indian culture and civilization, how can the dance and the theater be leveraged to use Kalaripayattu to tell stories of our great ancient past, so that the martial art becomes more popular?
A very valid question and very nice question. I answered a lot of platforms this thing that if your calorie pipe is that much uh, you know capable, why it is not in the international way we say, why this martial art is not leading with them, why it is not trending with them. So the question is that I can say that first of all, if you look at Kerala in India also, it's a totally different culture in Kerala comparing to
Hmm.
same way if you look at Bengal or if you look at Tamil Nadu. We every region is having a different culture, very different culture from each other. Very different. So the thing is that ancient in the just before some years, only Tamil Nadu and Kerala, this region used to have the idli. Now everybody is having idli. But in that time, we used to make idli and we used to eat idli. The same way, uh, in Kerala, uh, this art is not came out from Kerala. It was stayed there for so long time. That was one reason. And the second is this martial art is the literature and the commands which we give to students. Everything is based on Malayalam language, and
Hmm.
nobody translated it to some other foreign languages or other Indian languages. In fact, even nobody worked on it to explore and to make people understand what actually the guru is saying. So that was one reason. And apart from that, if you see Kalaripayattu having a two major ways, I mean the two major forms of Kalaripayattu. The southern way of forms and the northern style of Kalaripayattu. The two major styles is working as of now. And if you just see the northern style of Kalaripayattu is the everything what all we learning or teaching as of now today, the northern style of Kalaripayattu, that all things came from one man, that is Kottakkal Kanaran Gurukul, one main Gurukul. So the Kottakkal Kanaran Gurukul start teaching in the time of British rule or British presence in India. So that time was, they banned this art to be practiced. They banned this art to, openly teach and practice. A strict law was there to not to practice Kalaripayattu in Kerala. So they around 100 years, nobody practiced, nobody explored this martial art. So definitely a huge impact will come on it. I'm very thankful to Kottakkal Kanaran Gurukul who made little changes in the movement of Kalaripayattu. That's why
Hmm.
some movement is look like dance, but it is not dance. So the time when they just modified it, some moments they added some more elements, like they're doing like this and all these postures to when the policing people used to come, they feel like okay, they might be learning practicing some other dance forms. So this way it is you know suppressed, like not to come out. But again, Cortical Kanaran Gurukul, he taught to his major two Shishyan, major two disciples like C.V. Narayanan Gurukul, T. Sridharan Nair Gurukul. So these Gurukuls were again, survived in this martial art, and they spread it out. So C.V. Narayanan Gurukul was the first Gurukul who took this art to on stage, so that people should see what actual all strength is there in this martial art, so that people get attracted to this martial art and come back again to this. But till that time, all other art forms like karate, kung fu, judo, and all leading other martial art, they spread it in India, and in Kerala also a lot of people used to practice some other Chinese martial arts, comparing to Kalaripayattu. But nowadays, people are coming back and looking at this art form, and they really enjoying it, practicing, and they finding it that it's a very good form of fitness as well as self-defense. Sorry, I'm sorry
Uh,
if I missed any your answer. You
sure,
can again.
sure. Yeah. So, we have been learning this martial art for a few months now,
Yeah.
and it is pretty intense, probably more intense than many other martial arts. So, the logical question for me is, w- do you think that people of a certain age group can practice this with same intensity? Because uh, if you're not able to practice with the same intensity, then you are losing out on the benefits of learning the martial art, right? So what would be your view in this regard?
See, if you practicing Kalaripayattu, then the person who practicing Kalaripayattu, he should have the proper goal, that why I am practicing Kalaripayattu. You can practice Kalaripayattu for a good fitness. You can practice Kalaripayattu for a stress-free life. You can practice Kalaripayattu for a good self-defense. You can practice for X, Y, Z reasons. Kalaripayattu. It's on you that why you want to practice, right? So, similarly, this is applied with every martial art. If a kid starts in the right age to practice karate, he will practice more rigorously. But if a person starts karate learning at the age of 35 or 40, that will be little change for him. Or if a person starts at 55 or 60, that will be again change for him. That is the only changes in Kalari also.
Sure.
But in the basics of Kalaripayattu, we can modify accordingly to your body's level, come down to that level, and we can practice it. So, in my gallery in Delhi, I have student at the age of 60 also. They used to come and they used to learn it, and they getting interested in it also. At the same time, we have 6-year-old boy also, 6-year-old child also. So anyone can learn Kalaripayattu. It is intensive, as you said, like you have the experience. So it is intensive, but you know, any age person can practice it, and that intensiveness will come, little easy when you practice it. In the beginning, it may be feel little intense, but when you try practicing it again and again, then your body joints will, listen to you and it will come up, no issues.
So we spoke about the animal movements, and animal movements, they are one part of Kalaripayattu, right? The other part is, of course, the weapons. So what kind of weapon training is one can hope to learn through this martial art?
See, if we say about Kalaripayattu is complete a weaponetic martial art. You know, only this martial art having the 4 stages. Uh, Only in the first stage we don't have any weapon. After that, second, third, and fourth we have weapons. So, uh, Kalaripayattu weapons is in the second stage of Kol Tari. Kol Tari means uh, the wooden weapons. To practice wooden weapons, that is the second stage we call that. So in Kol means stick, or you can say wooden. So those who all weapons like long stick, a small stick, ocha, and charvadi you can say that the small stick. So this all weapons comes in the second stage. Once the student get confident of practicing the stick weapons, once the students get over from the fear of using and attacking and blocking fear of wooden weapon, then he introduced to the third stage, that is Angathari, where we used to practice the metallic weapon. In the metallic weapon, like you say, uh, no spear or knife, sword, urumi, the flexible sword. These all weapons, dagger, these all weapons comes in the third stage. So once you understanding the attacking movement of knife, once you understanding the attacking movement of dagger and the sword, and once you understanding the blocks, how you can block and how you can survive through a sword, then in the last stage, Varum Kai Prayog, or you
Mhm.
can say Varum Kai Prayogam. In that, it's in that stage, we are not learning the hand compacts of fighting. People used to get misunderstand that. In the last stage, only Kalaripayattu people used to teach how to block and how to punch. No. Varum Kai Prayog, in the sense, if a person, if a friend person having some kind of weapon in his hands, and uh, if you don't have any other weapon with you, handy with you, to how to block that person, how to get over from that weapon, how to block that weapon, and in this same stage, uh, you know, people, student used to understand the body's vital points, or you can say the body's the pressure points, where to hit, and how to get where to hit and get out from that mess. So that all things comes in this last stage of April. In this way, we use or learn culinary weapons.
Sure.
Kalaripayattu.
So the related question is, how important is a diet for learning Kalaripayattu? And is there a specific diet one must follow ideally?
Uh, Diet is again, not that much. There is no that much diet uh, plans in Kalaripayattu. But if I quote from the ancient time, when after completing the Kalaripayattu, when a warrior used to go to a war, when he prepared for his war, So like, if you see that there is a great warrior in Kalaripayattu in the past that his name was Tacholi Odinen. So before going into war or before going into any kind of fight, he uh, he used to do all the rituals of what we do, just like we going to Lord Ayyappa, and before that we used to do a 40 days fast and 40 days vrat and all these things, and not to having any kind of non-veg and any stay away from the women and all these things we used to do. We used to cleanse our body and mind 40 days, and then we used to go to Shabarimala. The same way they used to do, before going to a fight, make them calm and cleanse their body, and then they used to go to that kind of diets was used to be followed on that time. That is also in the particular time. Otherwise, you can say that when you practice Kalari, right, it's a very intense practice. Anything you eating, it will be get digested, so there is no problem of any diet issues in Kalaripayattu. Um, Not particularly anything in Kalaripayattu.
So also in Kalaripayattu, we have seen the use of a lot of these indigenous oils or the Kerala oils, right? So typically that is recommended before people start their practice or start practicing their start doing their moves, to use the words loosely. So what is the connection between Kalaripayattu and Ayurveda?
Uh, See, if you consider Ayurveda and Kalari, and the connection is like I don't know from where it started. This connection, that's an important question. Where, from what point, from what logic, where are you getting this connection of Kalari treatments or Kalari Chikitsa and the Ayurveda Chikitsa? Who separated it? This everything is under one umbrella, like you say, like Ayurveda and Kalari. But in Kalari, uh, people learned all ancient medicinal system from the uh, one from people to people, and they documented it. They made a certification for that, and then now they're graduating in it after learning from the natural people who practiced these things from so long time, from traditionally, from father to son, son to father, again and again. Then suddenly you created one certification and you said that you cannot practice it because you don't have the certification. You cannot practice it. So from where you learned it? You learned it from these people only. So the same way, Ayurveda and Kalari Chikitsa methods, it's all like same. But the person who learns Kalaripayattu, like you said, that oil applying in his body, a child used to apply oil in his body from the beginning of, he starts learning Kalaripayattu. So he every day he practicing the massage. Every day he practices the massage in his body. Then sometimes he used to help his partner also to apply oil in his body. So this is the first way they start learning, understanding the bone densities, where to not press, where to press, where is the vital points in the body. This is how they analyze it. And Kalari treatmental system or is totally based on the Kalari Marma, the 108 Marma points in our body. So to rejuvenate that body and give people more flexibility, strength, color treatment we used to do. So the person who learns Kalaripayattu, the person who practicing Kalaripayattu, he only understand or he only can do the coloring chikitsa.
Mm-hmm.
The another part of Ayurveda, anyone can go and get a graduation in it and he can practice it with the certification. But in Kalari, you have to stay there in the arena. You have to practice the Kalari. Then only you will understand the Kalari Chikitsa.
Sure.
So the Kalari Chikitsa is not, if you have a fever, you're coming to Kalari Gurukul and asking for paracetamol, he cannot give you that. You don't have the knowledge of that paracetamol. But what a Kalari Gurukul can do is, Kalari Gurukul can understand body anatomically very nicely, and he can give any kind of, he can give the solution of injuries which is related to sports injuries, or like you can say the martial art injuries. So Kalaripayattu is practiced, like you said, like, around 3,000 years back. That time also student used to get injured with the knife, with the stake, with the movement. So that injury, you, to to cure that injury, to make his student again strengthy, that was the responsibility of the teacher. No hospitals were there. Okay, take him to hospital and let him rest for 7 days. Come back again. No, that's the Gurukul's duty to take care of his student's body also. Too. So that was the need that they used to search in the medicines in Kalaripayattu, and they used to do the massages and the the sports injuries. They used to do that is the major difference. Kalari people used to be they do more injury kind of treatments, pain management things in Kalari.
So, coming, shifting focus slightly. So, when you talk about other martial arts, you have these various belts, starting with white, yellow, orange, red, brown, black, etc. So, what is there a similar ranking system in Kalaripayattu, and if so, what is that?
There is no belt system in Kalaripayattu, but there is again a Kalari Kacha, that is Kalari Langot. That's totally different. That is not to define the grade or the way. Kalaripayattu system, we can say likewise in other forms they have belt. We have weapon. What weapon you can practice? If you go some other Kalari from a Kalari. So if other Kalari Gurukul asking you, Sri, how much you learned Kalaripayattu, so that from where I can start you, then you can say that I have practiced till my long stick, a short stick, or till my sword, or till my dagger. Then the Guru will understand. Okay, if Sri is practiced up to dagger, then it means that he completed all his Poldari, wooden level, and his all other knife level. Then only he reached to the dagger. So we can say that Guru, after watching his long stick fights sequences, self-defensive and attacking movement, if he get perfect in it, then only Guru give him the second weapon, short stick. So
Sure.
weapon-wise, we can define the student's level in Kalaripayattu.
I have one last question before we turn it over to the questions from the audience. So, there is a lot of this earthiness associated with this martial art, Kalaripayattu, right? So, what do you say would be the connections of this martial art with various elements of nature?
See, when a student come to a Kalari, he practiced on a mud, on the earth, the clear earth. We used to dig 7 feet down, the ancient times. Nowadays, people are practicing anywhere, right? Any studio you can practice, right? But when it was used to practice in the mud, bare body after applying oil. So the connection is started from there, right? So why everything like everything is connected, clarified with the nature, like the every animal movements is coming from the nature, right? And the oil which we applying to our body, we can define it two way. One is that to not to get too much heat in our body while we practicing, and the another thing is that when we used to practice in a mud, so sometimes some wrong viruses also, or we can say wrong infection also you get from the mud sometimes. If it is an unhealthy mud, then it's stopping it. The oil is the barrier there. Then it's stopping to get to get an allergy to your skin. So it's like a, a man trying to be an animal. So that way, it is connected to the nature.
Great, fantastic. I mean, I think a lot of us learned a lot about this uh, ancient martial art, which is one which is clearly India's yet another contribution to the world. We have a few questions from the audience, and I think the first question here is, uh, in your view, what are the lessons from this martial art that one can take it to the audience, or can take it to the masses?
So this martial art is, like I said before, this martial art is made from the gods, uh, and any child, any person who practicing this martial art, first thing is that he will be stay away from all wrongfulness and he will be healthy, and that the Kalaripayattu practiced child can be modified it to any kind of sports, any kind of act, any kind of arts in a very easy way, because Kalaripayat gives you everything: flexibility, strength, focus, alertness, everything Kalaripayat gives. So these things can be useful to in your life, like entire life. This will be useful to your life. So you can change your thought and mind, and the depressions and the pressure in your mind. We're getting a strength to fight with all these earthly things, like earthly wrongness. We, by mind and soul and our heart, we get strong while we practice Kalaripayattu. So this should be compulsory to every kid. I think every kid and every person should at least should undergo Kalaripayattu training for 2-3 years, and only he will understand it.
Sure. So we have a question from one Mr. Yogesh, and his question is, what is the relationship of Kalaripayattu with other East Asian martial arts like Taekwondo, Karate, Kung Fu? So, based on what we have learned so far, we do use, there's a lot of use of the legs, in learning this martial art. And that is something similar in Taekwondo. So would you say that there are some interlinkages between Taekwondo and Kalaripayattu or any other martial arts with and Kalaripayattu?
See, a historian believes that from India it gone to China and other places, and if we see a lot of movements, in like I used, I did a 1 month, workshop with Taekwondo people in South Korea, uh, teaching them the Kalaripayat and knowing their Taekwondo, and a lot of things, the similarity is there from the Taekwondo, and uh, you know when I visited China, Shaolin Temple, so they openly believe they placed a card in front of the caves of Bodhidharma that the around 1600 AD, the monk came from India and established this entire thing. So they used to believe it. And the Bodhidharma is more famous in other countries comparing to India. So it is gone from our side because in ancient time, uh, Guru used to believe that if you are uh, understanding Kalaripayattu or this Vidya completely, then this is your responsibility. Go and now spread this to the other people. So in that way, uh, you know, it is spreaded all the neighboring places of India.
Sure. I have one more question, a few more questions actually. Um, so, is Kalari used in institutions of national security or state security? So, do you have so is Kalari practiced as a martial art by Kerala State Police, or would you know that whether it's one of the martial arts trainings that is given in the Indian Army?
Uh, Indian Army used to hire every art forms, not they used to have the workshops and the practical aspects of Kalaripayat, of martial arts. They used to practice every martial arts, Indian Army, not only Kalaripayat. The same way, Indian Army is also practicing Kalaripayat also. Like you say, before this lockdown also, we were planned to give Kalaripayat to locking systems to the SPG commandos also, and there is a good team in army, in Indian Army also for Kalaripayat. They used to do a lot of things. Now Indian Army also exploring. They are exploring the Kalaripayat tactics in Indian Army also.
And uh, Madhu has this question for us. Her question is, uh, can we learn this art online? And I think the more important part of the question, which a lot of the people like to know, is weapons training. Is that possible online?
No, weapons training is not possible on online effectively, not possible. And I will not suggest anyone to practice uh, these things online also, weapon training. But the basics of Kalaripayat, the first stage of Meitari, if we try, then we can learn through the first stage. Up to first stage, we can learn through the online mode, but not possible learning weapons online mode.
So, so the next part to that question that just came up in my mind is, if there is this basic training and then there is this weapons training, right? I mean, just to draw a comparison, they say that if one is committed and regular enough, for example, it takes about 3 to 4 years for one to get a black belt in taekwondo, right? I mean, assuming the person is very regular. So, is that so? How much time do you think it will learn to grasp the basics of Kalaripayattu, and how much time would it take to grasp the weapon trainings part? The question is because I see a lot of interest in this uh, Kalaripayattu martial art. I see a lot of interest in the U.S. amongst the Indian community in the U.S. Right? If somebody wants to learn weapons training, and say, and people, unfortunately, they can't come to India for more than 4 to 6 weeks. But would a 4 to 6 weeks period be enough to learn the weapons training? At least a fair bit of weapons training.
Uh, so systematically, if you are not completed your level 1, then you cannot do your level 2. And if you are not completed your level 2, then you cannot go directly learn the weapons of sword or any other thing. All right.
Mhm.
This every movement is interconnected. So
Mhm.
it is compulsory to clear the first stage, then only we can go to the second stage. And about the duration of Kalaripayattu, that if a person who have a standard fitness, like he can do pretty good fitness man. He if he tries, he can also learn Kalaripayattu in 3 4 years, no problem.
3 to 4 years. I see.
But again, the thing is that uh, it doesn't mean that after 3 4 years you don't have anything else remains there to
Sure.
learn, right? But standard way you will be a good practitioner of Kalaripayattu, you will be a good self defenser of Kalaripayattu in 3 4 years.
That is level 1, 2, and 3.
Level 1 to 4,
Just level one or all levels?
all levels.
Okay. Okay.
But if a person is very bad in his fitness, then it will.
Hmm.
But the real answer for this question is it's depend on person to person. What is his
Sure.
level?
Yeah.
What is his body's ability and strength? Accordingly, we can teach them.
Of course. Yep. I mean that is a given. It depends upon the fitness, the commitment, and
Yeah.
how serious is one about learning this martial art. So a follow-up question from Madhu is, how many stages can we learn online? Is it level 1 and 2 or just level 1?
Only one level, first stage, one level.
I see. I see. That is, I think that's good to know because I didn't know that. I thought we could learn both level 1 and 2 online. So it is just level 1 that one could learn online.
Just level 1.
I see. Yeah, no, this has been very insightful. I think any further questions from people out there, folks out there? I think we have a few more minutes. So if okay, so I have two more questions. So for people who are learning online or who want to learn online, how would they learn level 2? So do they have to go to a center in Kerala or in Delhi and be there and learn there physically, be physically present?
Yes, of course. He can go to any gallery in Kerala, any place who teach Kalaripayattu. We can go and learn from there. This is something which we have to learn from the Guru Mukh, in fact, like from the in the presence of Gurukul. Only you have to practice the weapons. Any Gurukul who teaches Kalari, you can go and learn it.
Uh, I think so. Your answer is those who want to learn level 2, they may approach Kalari centers in their area, right?
Yeah.
Wherever they are. How many Kalari centers are there in India? I have noticed, of course, apart from yours, I have noticed a couple of more in Delhi. I'm sure there are quite a few in Kerala. But what is the extent of presence of Kalari centers? For example, somebody is in Assam. Does he have to travel all the way to Delhi or Kerala to learn, or is there something closer by?
Uh, uh, Nowadays, people who learned Kalaripayattu, they started teaching also here and there. And nowadays, some people are, learning it from Kerala and they starting on their startups, and a lot of people used to do that. But if you ask me that how many calories is there in India, it's very hard, tough for me to give the right actual amount that I really don't know about it. But yeah, comparing to previous nowadays, like Mumbai, Maharashtra, and Delhi, people are there who can teach really well about Kalaripayattu, and but very few people who can teach you. But in Kerala, you will get it in Trivandrum, uh,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Kannur, and some of the places of Kottayam, you will get the nice calories.
I think we just have time for one more question, and that question is, I mean, I spoke my own personal experience, and we see a lot of interest in this martial art amongst the Indian community in the US. But leaving aside the US, what is your sense of level of interest of this martial art in other countries? And do you think that although belatedly this martial art is becoming more popular in other countries,
But I believe,
I'm
but I,
including India?
yeah, but I believe in when we used to practice in Kerala in our childhood, we used to see a lot of foreigners coming to our gallery. We never seen any other regions people are coming to us. Like people are very. I never seen anyone coming from Maharashtra, anyone coming from Delhi, or anyone coming from other places of our own place of India. I see very few people coming. Comparing to see, I see a lot of people from France, USA, Spain, Germany. They are very interested in this martial art.
Which in a way is actually sad, right? I mean,
And
I mean, our own folks are not interested, or maybe they're not even aware of
see,
this martial arts.
we cannot blame them even. We cannot blame them because they're not aware about it. They were
Yeah,
not.
people,
If you say,
but back,
I can bet you, if you go and ask some people in Kerala also, some children don't know about Kalaripayattu. In Kerala
right,
itself. So we cannot say about the rest of the people. So
sure.
you have to, uh, generate interest in youngsters if you really want to attract them. But if you're not doing any work towards to that, then you cannot blame. Karate, kung fu, tai chi, and this all art forms is there in the Hollywood movies, in the movies, and
Yeah,
they're doing many things. They're doing workshop. They're doing that. I said, when I was there in South Korea, in a small region, you can say in one village or in one place, there is around 10 to 15 taekwondo schools is there in a small village or in a small place. 10 to 15 taekwondo schools is there. So and not only taekwondo schools is there, the teachers having the students also, that is important. Every teacher having around 100, 50, 25 students is there. Nobody is sitting, jobless over there with that art form over there. So that is the interesting part. So in Kerala also, why? Because the parents believes in martial art. Parents wants to, do some, healthy activity by their children. So that is important. I think we Indians focusing more on books and study, rather than other activities. We have to chase this, and we have to push our kids to more physical activities.
I think folks are just loving this conversation, going with the number of questions I'm continuing to get. So I'll just take one last question, and then we'll call it quits. The question here is, would you have any suggestions for Kalari movies? Movies which showcase Kalaripayattu.
uh, I personally went to theater to see some movies because they said they're using some coloring things over there, but I don't.
Uh-huh.
But after watching the movie, I don't see any coloring over there. So personally, if you ask me about clarified movies, some I mean real good action clarified movies is not there. But some Malayalam movies is like now recently some movies is came like
Mhm.
like Urumi one movie is there. Urumi one movie in Malayalam and Mamangam in Malayalam. They used some movie and Kayamkulam Kochunni is there. One movie in Malayalam. I mean, slightly they used some coloring movements. That Jackie Chan's movie Myth, they have some sort of, showed some coloring painting sequences. This kind of movies.
And this has been fascinating. Thank you so much, sir. Before we leave, would you want you have this Kalari Kendram Center in Delhi? Or would you want to talk about your center briefly so that people can reach out to you if they are interested in picking up this martial art after the session?
Yeah, we are teaching by the name of our organization name is Kalari Kendram, and myself, I want to uh, educate youngsters in Kalari. Not only just giving some actions or just giving some moments of Kalari, but a real Kalari, so that you can go and teach this thing to others also. So when you standing with a Kalari name, you should not uh, have any kind of doubts to speak about Kalari. You should not have any kind of fear to speak about it. What I want my kids to, my kids is a lot of kids is from the North India. They're Hindi people. They speak Hindi. They don't know a single word of Malayalam. But if I give them a commands in my Malayalam language, they will do it accurately. So you may believe that these people are Malayalis, that how they take the Malayalam commands. I teach them in Malayalam. I translate them words to word in Hindi. They know each and every meaning of the color. So that's why, So I can teach them Kalarified without the Malayalam words or without the Malayalam commands. But I don't want to do that because then the purity will lose, which is written rightly in Kalarified. Okay, this is the way to learn Kalarified. This is the way to fight in Kalarified. We have to fight and we have to learn that. So those who are all interested, you're most welcome to learn Kalarified. Because of this coronavirus, we are in online also now.
Very true. Yep. Very true. Very true. Thank you once again, sir. This has been a very insightful session. I'm sure the audience here thoroughly enjoyed this. Uh, so I'd like to speak a little bit about our forthcoming video talks. We do this regularly enough, and next week we are actually, as I said, one of the objectives of Voice, and please feel free to check us out. Check our website out, www.voiceglobal.org. And our next video talk is going to be on there is this person in Tamil Nadu, and he's so committed to the entire aspect of planting trees and using the concept of plantation of trees to help farmers earn their income. That we thought that it was very worth our time to showcase his efforts. So over the last 15 years, believe it or not, he has been instrumental in getting over 20 million trees planted across the country, and that's a huge number. So, folks who are in, there in this session today, I hope will feel encouraged to attend that as well, which will be on December 19th, same time next Saturday, 8:30 p.m. And as I mentioned, go to our website www.voiceglobal.org. We crowdsource articles on our website, so if there are aspects related to Indian civilization or culture that you would like to write and you love writing, please submit your articles to our email that is given in this that will be provided in this chat. Thank you once again so much for being here today, and once again, have a good day.
Thank you.